I have to ask you a bit about TED. I mean, TED,
Sure.
there's so many good talks. So many of our guests have been TED speakers before.
Yes.
I don't know if we've had many TED fellows before. Now, lately TED's got a little heat because they've pulled a few lectures off their websites. We've had Graham Hancock in here, Rupert Sheldrake, and some of their episodes were kind of taken off and put back on. And there was a guy named Eddie Huang who was a fellow in LA who walked out on the TED conference after 6 days and said it was oppressive because he had to stay there all day. What I had to ask you, what do you say to that? Do you have any comment? Has TED been good to you? I don't know.
TED's been extraordinary to me.
Okay.
I'm a bit of a TED fan.
Okay.
So for me, it's been an absolute privilege, and it's one of the most exciting arenas that you can be a part of.
Okay.
And I think they do a tremendous job of not only curating the events but curating the talks. And there's an element to that, like any live performance, where there are going to be little hiccups and bumps. But 99.9% of that is broadcast to the world. And still, some of my talks haven't been put online yet. I mean, there's an enormous backlog. There's an enormous wealth of contributions that have been made to the TED program. And I think TED handles it really well. There's been some expectation, I think, as TED's got bigger and bigger and bigger, that it's infallible, it's this huge giant, but really it's still the same individuals and the same format, and people volunteering themselves, their ideas, putting themselves on the line to communicate and to nurture this idea of ideas worth sharing or ideas worth spreading. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think these little, when something gets so big, I think people try to look for kinks in the armor and think it's okay to throw dirt. Is that the expression?
They're comparing it to Scientology, and it's like everyone has to kind of fit in and do this and go to the conferences and do that. So,
well, I think there is a certain expectation for fellows, and that is participation. So if you have been flown over from your particular part of the world, it's only if the event is only for a few days, the idea is that you participate. And as you say, the fellowship is curated. It's not just the talk that's been commissioned. So
yeah, it's like letting real people participate. They give their time for free, and then something beautiful comes from it. Yeah.
The curation's interesting because you are put together with all these like-minded people, and that sounds like that's been a huge benefit for you.
Absolutely.
And I guess as the public, we just see the talk, but you're saying there's a lot more going on behind the scenes.
Absolutely. So we're given the opportunity. We have sort of all sorts of events and opportunities. We have mentors, coaches. We have opportunities to network, to look at collaborative potentials together, to support each other. And of course, we're kind of the fellows. We all stick together. I mean, there's a huge community out there of extraordinarily successful people who have achieved a lot. So the TEDsters themselves are just, kind of an inspirational audience. And the TEDsters we've flown in from, it could be a tiny little village in the middle of Africa. So we support each other through that process, and it's a great privilege to have that support structure. And I think they're very aware of making sure we have a space to go to be together, to come together, and to nurture each other through that. Okay. Otherwise, it can be a bit daunting.
Oh, fair enough. No, I mean overall, TED. I mean the talks are, they're genuinely consistently good.
Yes.
If you tell someone there's a TED talk, you can expect a certain level of relevance, competence, all that good stuff.
Puts a bit of pressure on.
Yeah.
It's nice in a way. It's like a step up.